When we reflect upon the human condition, it's easy to adopt a point of view that nearly everything about us is paradoxical. Some will even say that it's the sole function of art to give form to these paradoxes, and in so doing allow us to realize them, accept them, and maybe even come to embrace them. And there's perhaps no greater paradox than the human experience of love. It can be argued that it's the thing we desire most in life, because it brings with it a joy that can't be known otherwise. But at the same time, the more we open ourselves up to it, the greater the pain it's able to inflict upon us. The trial we must all undergo at some point, then, seems to be accepting the realization that joy can only be known because pain exists, and that we must bear that pain with courage. If joy and pain are two opposite experiences of emotion that are intimately tied together, love is the thing that transcends them. Denis Villeneuve's recent addition to the Blade Runner mythos explores the love-joy-pain paradox in a story as old as the human experience itself, that love endures all things. In this video, I want to point out how Blade Runner 2049 is a masterpiece when it comes to exploring this theme. So my question to you is...
You want to go for a ride?
I want to start off by talking about Joy and Kay. One of the more cynical interpretations of their relationship was that Joy was just a coded product, and therefore her love for him wasn't real. This view rests primarily on Kay's interaction with the Joy product advertisement, which spells it out that she's everything we want to hear and everything we want to see. It even calls him Joe, which his Joy had named him earlier in the film.
You look like a good Joe. Joe.
But is it fair to say that just because Joy was designed, that her love for Kay isn't genuine? Such a question is one that Neander Wallace's character introduces.
Did it never occur to you that's why you were summoned in the first place? Designed to do nothing short of fall for her right then and there. That is, if you were designed love or mathematical precision.
The truth of the matter is, we can't definitively say that humans, replicants, or coded artificial intelligences aren't all designed, from a certain point of view, to fall in love with specific things. Even the mindset that it's all just chemical interactions occurring in complex bioorganic machines, otherwise known as humans, allows Wallace to claim some bit of truth. Love can be seen as a form of mathematical determinism. Even the consciousness that we think allows us free choice is a product, according to your view, of God's design or the processes of evolution, themselves governed by the laws of physics. For both Joy and the replicants, the gods that designed them just so happened to be us, using the tools provided by science and technology. So why should their consciousness or experience of love be any less real than ours? The film invites us to ask the question, what's the difference between products expressly fine-tuned to love, think, and feel, and the products nature has fine-tuned over the course of millions of years that replicate nearly the exact same behavior? For now, let me just say that I think the love between Kay and Joy was real, as far as we can even conceive of what real means in this context. Love, whether it be miracle or mathematics, is no less a mystery of experience, which brings us back to our discussion of joy and pain. Joy and Kay's experience of emotion was real. It doesn't matter if there's an identical Kay out there somewhere else with an identical Joy with basically an identical relationship. In fact, that's a metaphor for all us regular Joes and Joys out here in the real world. Our experiences are, paradoxically, unique, yet the same, and this realization helps us reflect upon the rest of the story. When love kills joy, which, by the way, when converted into a statement is another form this paradox can take, Kay is finally able to empathize with Deckard. Both have now experienced the loss of something they truly loved and the pain that comes with it. They then undergo a similar trial. Both the Rachel and the joy that these two characters are tempted with are technically the same things they once had. Yet despite this, each rejects the notion that the love they had for their former partners could be replaced with the joy of having them again. They know it's not the same. This is something Wallace doesn't understand in his limited, loveless worldview.
You think I have nothing to offer but pain? Only I know you love pain. Pain reminds you the joy you felt was real. More joy, then.
And so, pain instead of joy is embraced for the sake of love. In Deckard's case, the emotional pain he feels is about to become the physical sort when Wallace tortures him off-world. Torture that he'll bear because he loves his daughter enough to bear it, all without ever having met her. Kay, on the other hand, decides not to kill Deckard, but to reunite him with his daughter. In doing so, Kay gains a sense of lasting joy at having finally discovered his human soul, which is the same thing as having learned what true love is. I think this is what the horse represents. There's a saying from the East that's something like, if you possess happiness, keep it a secret, because if society finds out, it'll try to steal it away from you. Kay handing off the horse, which for a long time was the only thing he thought was a happy memory, is him finally embracing that his life, complete with its joys and sorrows, was worth living for its own sake. It would be irresponsible of me to delve into this topic without mentioning the negative side of love, represented by the character who's ironically named the same thing in the story. She does possess a form of love for her creator, Neander Wallace, yet she's completely devoid of any sense of joy. She experiences only pain that she can never be to him what she wants to be to him. Anyone who's been in a terrible relationship yet still loved the person that was mistreating them can understand love's character. Her and Wallace, taken together, represent what happens when one person is filled with endless love, such as the kind one might have for their god, and doesn't receive it back. She ends up completely hateful. If Wallace loved her in the same way Deckard did Rachel or Kay did Joy, chances are she'd be capable of being a tremendously good person. But Wallace, as his inhuman eyes in the story indicate, is the personification of a complete and total lack of love in one's life. People like Kay and Deckard look upon another person and see an object of flawless creation, regardless of who or what the creator is. Someone like Wallace sees the exact same thing and notices only the imperfections that drive a desire for something ultimately unobtainable without knowing true love in one's heart. And what is that? It's that source of constantly replenishing joy that comes only after we internalize and accept that pain, both immediate and the kind that comes after we lose the things we care about, is a necessary experience in life, but that through love, we transcend it. Both Kay and the original replicant in the 1982 Blade Runner film must have, in some way, grasped this lasting joy in their final moments, each having accepted their own lives and their own experiences as being unique and special, even if only to them. And in my opinion, this line is Kay's most insightful moment of the film.
All the best memories are hers.
As we know, Deckard's daughter was the memory maker. But when Kay says that all the best memories are hers, it means something else as well. What Kay is feeling when he says this is that all his best memories are the ones his joy gave him, a mindset he and Deckard now share through empathy and a common experience. And so it becomes a lesson for us out here, in this real world of pain and suffering. Perhaps we can never escape these things permanently, but we can balance them with the recognition that the only way to keep the good times and the good memories coming is to keep making them with the people we love.
So set 'em up, Joe. I got a little story I think you should know. We're drinking, my friend, to the end of a brief episode. Make it one for my baby and one more